Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today is kind of a continuation of the last video that I did when I was looking for things to repot. Well, not necessarily looking for things to repot, but I know that I have things that needed to be repotted. And I didn't do it all in the last video because number one, I didn't want it to be too long, and number two, I had to mix up some more soil stuff. But I do have 3 plants here that I'm going to repot today. And one of them, as I said, is my Marble Queen Pothos. And then I have my baby Billietiae, which I was just waiting for it to pop out that new leaf, which it did. And I'm gonna put it into something a little bit bigger that might retain a little bit more moisture. I just find it dries out really quickly in this. And then my third one, which is not something you normally see around here, my Variegated Jade plant, I'm going to repot because, as you can see there, the roots are trying to come out of the bottom of the pot, and it's actually been in this one for about 2 years. And I did put cuttings in the pot, but one doesn't look like it's gonna make it. One looks like it's okay, and the other one's just kind of been sitting there forever, not really knowing what it wants to do with its life. So, what I'm gonna do first is the Marble Queen. I am going to put it in one of these pots from Amazon. I will link it below. I can't remember the name of it, but I do have them, the taller 6-inch ones in gray, and I absolutely love them. My plants absolutely love them too, so that's awesome. So this one is, what size is this? 7, I think. I think this is a 7 or a 7.5 inch. Anyway, we're gonna put it in there because it is currently in a little 5-inch. I think it's a 5-inch pot. It doesn't say. Anyway, we're gonna put it in something bigger because it dries out way too quickly for my liking. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to angle the camera down to the table so that you can see what I'm doing. And my trace is still dirty from the last video because these are kind of running back to back. All I really did was take off my hoodie, but here we are. Okay, so I'm just gonna tilt you down now. Okay, so here we have my, I put the pot on top of a leaf, perfect. So here's my Pothos, and here's the pot I'm gonna use. Here's my soil stuff. So, I have noticed since I've been using Coco Coir and Coco Husk that the Coco Coir tends to dry out a little bit. It's faster than your basic soil would. So I'm experimenting with adding vermiculite to the soil mixture, hopefully to retain a little bit more moisture. Why is this, what is happening here? So far, the plants that I've put in there with the vermiculite have really liked it. What? Okay. See, it's so dry. And I actually have, what is going on with this root is stuck. Okay. So the soil is super dry. I mean, the roots look okay. They don't look too bad. It's not an absolute disaster, and it wasn't root bound. I guess it was starting to get root bound though, so I guess it's kind of good that I took it out of there. This giant chunk of charcoal, that is huge. The charcoal that I get now is much smaller. But I don't want to mess with too much of this. This was a regular soil mixture. I just want to loosen it up just a little bit. I mean, Pothos in general are pretty resilient when it comes to anything. But I don't want to take all of the soil that it's liked living in out of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you over here. I got my pot here. So this is, for the most part, it's almost the same as my aeroid mixture, or like the mixture for my philodendrons, except that it has a little less cocoa husk. But it does have cocoa husk, cocoa coir, perlite, vermiculite, and charcoal. Oh, and there's some orchid bark in here too. Just, you know, for that, that little bit of chunky. Okay, that should be okay. And I actually love how, fluffy it is, and just how, what's the word I'm looking for? How fluffy it is, and just how it feels in general. So I don't even know if you can see any of that, but that's fine. You get the gist. Okay, it's so dry. And I know that I watered this last week. And usually I don't have to water too much. You can see my little cuttings that I have put in as well, because I am trying to fill the pots as much as possible. Oh, this was a cutting as well. When I got the plant, it was actually just this long, this one strand, and it was pretty short, and I've kept cutting it. I'm trying not to cut it right now because I would like it to grow out a little bit more before I do any more cutting. So that is the plan. Oh, I've also got those peace lilies I have to repot. That's going to be a much bigger job though. Ow. My peace lilies are struggling. My variegated peace lily and my green peace lily, and not the sensation, I think it's a spathiphyllum sensation. That one's huge. Right now it is just living in water, and it's actually seems to be liking it, which I thought was a possibility because peace lilies love their water. As that motorcycle goes by. Yeah, what was I saying? So the peace lily, my peace lily sensation, which is living in a bucket of water right now, and it is loving every second of it. It's about to push out a second leaf. I took it out of the pot it was in with my regular peace lily because it was leaning over. It was just getting to the point where it was so big that it was leaning over in the pot. I couldn't get it to stand up, and I didn't want it to die, so it got taken out of there. On top of that, it had a whole bunch of root nodes, and my curiosity wanted to know if those were actually going to shoot out roots, and you know what? It did, which I will show you another time. But it really, really did. Okay. Now the question for this is going to be if it's going to still fit on my shelf, because the shelf is narrow that it sits on. And it is very possible that it might not fit up there anymore. And I know you're probably looking at this and saying that there is a lot of coco coir up here, but there is a reason for that, because when I water it through, all this extra stuff on the top is going to settle, and it will be lower. Okay. So, I mean, I am gonna have to water it, but here is my Marble Queen Pothos. So after it's watered and becomes a little bit more perky, I think I might take a couple cuttings and start filling it back up again. The next cuttings that I wanted to take of it, though, I wanted to take cuttings of my Neon Pothos as well, because when you put the Marble Queen and the Neon Pothos together, it makes a really, really, really stunning plant, and I'm going to do that again. I think I gave the last one away. You know, that's what you do, though. You make things, you give them away to other plant people or friends that appreciate it. Okay, take this soil. See, I was saying in the last video that I need to find a chunkier perlite, and this perlite actually came in, I think it was a bag of orchid bark. Next up, I think I'm gonna do the little Billy. So I'm gonna put it in just a little 4-inch container. I did get rid of most of my 4-inch containers because they are so easy to come by. I had so many that I just couldn't maintain, not even maintain, I didn't want them around anymore. I had too many. But this, I mean, I guess it's what, 3.5 inches? So that's not too big. And the thing is that I can't really see the roots in this pot. So I don't know what's going on in there, which is another reason why I wanted to take it out. And that is what we are going to do. Okay. So we're gonna put a little bit of soil stuff in here. It's funny, I keep calling it soil when it's not soil anymore. See, oh, that just looks so good. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the baby Billy. I can't remember exactly when I got this. Fall, I think? Yeah, it's just kind of falling out of there. And I know that she had just put this in Coco Coir and Orchid Bark herself. The plant friend I got this from, Kim, and it actually looks like it has vermiculite in here as well. So we were kind of both on the same path there. But see, there's like not much root wise. Oh, she had moss in there. Okay, now I can see. Okay. Well, the root looks good. I mean, it is just this one root situation we got going on there. So hopefully though, hopefully I'm helping it and not hindering it, because that would really suck. And I will take a little bit of its existing medium that it liked growing in. Well, let's see what's going on. Okay, so how deep? Does that look okay? Yeah, I think so. Now, this one's gonna get a little bit more of the chunk. And I might put a crystal in this one too, I'm not sure. It's something I've kind of just started doing, and really because I have a lot of crystals hanging around. There's some I display, there's some that I just carry with me. And there's some that have just kind of been sitting there doing nothing. So why not put them in my plants? Just as a little decorative feature. I remember when I first started collecting plants, and I used to pack the soil in there so tight when I was transplanting plants into new pots. I used to pack it down so tight, and now I try to leave it loose and airy for the plant. There we go. Look at the baby Billy. Oh, so cute. Okay, now that one is done. And we will get rid of this soil. And the last one I'm going to do today, I think, is this Jade, which I am super surprised, actually. I'm gonna use this piece of charcoal to cover the hole. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that my Jades have lived with me for 2 years and not died. Oh, I'm okay, I'm freaking out a little bit here. I don't like this situation at all. I mean, it's one thing to take a plant out of a terracotta pot, but when it's a plant that you have tried so hard not to kill, oh, there we go. Well, that's weird. What is that? Okay, you can't see it. Let's get you in here a little closer. So if you look at the end of that, I'm trying to figure out exactly what this is. I mean, I put it in this pot myself, but it almost looks like, you know when you get a plant that's in a plug? And these roots around the outside, I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. I mean, I know the roots are small and fine, but maybe those are the roots. Because there was nothing on the bottom of this pot. Do you think that that could just actually be like roots at the bottom that just wound up there? That would be absolutely crazy. But you can see that there's just roots all the way through here. It's just that they're dark, and I actually don't know if they're going to be okay. But you know what? We'll see. We will see. Okay, so I don't need the cocoa husk in this one. Not as much anyway. I do have to say that the cocoa husk does actually help retain some moisture. But it doesn't need like big chunks of it or anything. And being a jade, it doesn't need to retain that much moisture as far as I can see. Okay. Can you, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing, jeez. Okay, you know what? This is just where we're at now. Well, see, now I'm totally paranoid that I'm gonna kill it now that I did that. But I'm glad that I looked. I'm glad that I looked and didn't just let it sit here for like another season. I did look at my green jade, but it actually didn't look like there was no roots coming out the bottom, and I didn't want to unpot it and disturb it yet. Maybe later on in the season I can do that. I figure that now is as good a time as any. Yeah, that's dead. To do this, so that is what I'm doing. Because the time changes happen now, and the days are longer, sort of. And hopefully all my plants appreciate it. You know what? I probably could have just mixed in some cactus soil here. I didn't want to mix it in with this if I had some left over for something else, but this plant is actually taking all of that. So that was actually a pretty good, pretty good measurement process there for me. All right. Well, look at me on the motivation train. 2 videos, one sitting and another one. I have to do an update on my focus plants so that you guys can get that. And then I have a couple other videos coming. But yeah, so there we go. There is my variegated jade. Looking all pretty. Hopefully she stays that way. And yeah, that is that. Okay guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are all safe and well. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.